You have formed a good statement. What's next? You need to start generating business ideas and solutions to solve the identified problem or recognize opportunities that you can make some money on. How can you do this? This video covers some brainstorming tools for coming up with some ideas as solutions for the problem you want to solve. First of all, let's talk about ideation. What is it? It is a process of generating, developing, and communicating new ideas. Ideation is often the most exciting stage in a design thinking project because during ideation, the aim is to generate a large quantity of ideas that the team can then filter and cut down into the best, the most practical or most innovative ones in order to inspire new and better design solutions and products. There are many ideation tools out there. Let's talk about a brainstorming first, which lets you capture what comes in your mind as a solution. It gives many new ideas which can be then categorized to find out some meaningful solutions by putting things together. Another one I would like to talk about today is lotus diagram. Similar to many sides of or the petals of the lotus flower, the context of the problem can be examined and understood from different categories or factors of that context. For that, one needs to understand more information on the problem domain to be able to discuss and further classify and extend its category as shown in the lotus diagram. Here in the diagram, as you can see, the core context in the middle, and in the 4 sides, it can also be 8 sides, and then you can further expand that side depending on which area you want to focus on. One of the ways to help in this situation is understanding the cause and effect of a system. It is referred to as a systems thinking, cause and effect. It is a method of analysis used to develop an understanding of complex systems. It identifies and visually displays the causal chain of a system, what caused what. It is used to show how different components and feedback of a system are interrelated. Just to give an example, in a simple system, birth cause population to increase and death cause population to decrease. Simple, right? But in the long run, more population causes more births. This is known as, in that context, reinforcing loop. It's actually getting bigger and bigger because the birth is creating more population to grow. It also causes more deaths in the long run, although deaths reduce population. Hence, it is referred as a balancing loop. So reinforcing loop and a balancing loop are the 2 ways to look at and how it causes the system. So cause and effect in a system is also a very good way of learning about how it impacts. In a complex system, there are many variables which affect other several variables. Understanding the cause and effect relationship helps to explore and simplify the problem for brainstorming new ideas. Another tool you might have heard about is mind mapping. Very similar, which is similar to the lotus diagram or even the cause and effect, a visual representation of ideas and showing the connections, extension to the problem into different variables. Again, you look at one example of a context of a problem, and then you can actually dive into a very specific area by exploring that area further. There's another tool called storyboarding. You can tell a story around a problem that has been analyzed. This tool helps to create visual stories with main characters to specify the problem and also hinting towards the solution. There are many other tools, and some of the tools you can actually find out there is Design Kit, Mock Plus, Session Lab, many more out there. Just to give extend on the example we talked about earlier, overcrowding in the public transport during the rush hours. Some of the relevant variables in this, overcrowding the public transport could be while using the public transport, how the traffic congestion plays into this rushing to the public transport. Because of the congestion in the car, people would like to take the public transport, because if they were to drive themselves to the work, there will be a lot more cars in the road. During the pandemic, as you know, as the world is opening up, there's a lot of traffic congestion because people are preferring to drive to the work. And also, that's from one angle to look at, from the traffic on the traffic congestion in the road, versus if you were to concentrate on the seats actually in the public transport, that will be different variables, different angle to look at it, saying how many seats are actually available and how many people are actually trying to go and to the city, you know, to work from one direction, one place to another place. So number of total seats available, how often the seats are covered, you know, taking place, and also how many people are actually standing. Those numbers becomes variables that's important to look at it. And those numbers will actually gives you understanding of how busy the public transport is during the rush hours. In those cases, your solution also depends on, if you're looking at from a congestion point of view, the solution will be towards the congestion. And one of the solutions could be, let's say, using carpooling system in Uber. You know, even Uber came up with a carpooling system. Or maybe even with the, depending on where you're focusing on, it could be even with the employer making employees to start their work and finish their work in a different time. Start early and finish early, or start late and finish late too, right? So those are the different angle to look at it and focus on. Or maybe just using some sort of a technology to be able to control the flow of the passengers. We're not discussing a particular solution here, but to understand how ideation works for determining a new innovative solution. So in this video, we discuss the main tools and approaches that can help you generate ideas through creativity really thrives within constraints, not on absurdly limitless possibilities. Please remember that ideation process should be meaningful and relevant to the context. Thank you.